Hello everybody and welcome to the updated version of Wexcombe Manor Farm. If we start up this tractor's engine, we'll drop the trailer off and then head around to the field which we've just been working in the previous video, we should now see that that crop has now fully regrown, which doesn't look very good, but it does mean that everything is now fixed. So here we go, yes it is now sunflowers, at least it's a different crop. That keeps it a bit more interesting. So if we really wanted to, we could just go straight in with another harvest here, but we won't do, as we have just done a great big job here. The only issue is all of the machines are actually in the field, so I'm going to have a very quick tidy up, and then I will show you the difference between the previous version and this version. Okay, so this is rented, we will be returning it, but not just at the moment. We'll probably wait a day or two. There is a possibility we'll need it again. I think for the time being we'll just put it into the shed where the Bale trailer is. There we go. Keeps it safe. Next we've got the pickup, the Toyota Hilux, or the Toyota Hilux as it does say there. We're back into the STR Modding vehicle. Very nice vehicle. Okay, so just find a good place to park it. Somewhere around the corner. Probably rock it up here. There we go. And I've just quickly driven the combine harvester out of the crops. Hopefully it hasn't destroyed too much behind us. Try and squeeze through the gap. That was a very silly place to put the tractor, but at least we can still get through. Best place for this, I'm not too sure. Somewhere out of the way is best. I suppose next to the forager would be a good place, but I've not really parked it very well. Yes, I think we'll just put it in here. It should fit in here, hopefully. There we go. And we probably won't be using it for a while. Also, this bale trailer here, we should probably unload that too, as there are many more bales to pick up, unless of course we get the auto stacker. We don't really want to be spending another whole video just moving bales. I do it quite often. Actually, yeah, first things first, I did say we're going to keep the forager, but I don't know if we are going to use it. Actually, we might use it for whole crop harvesting or for grass. Well, in that case, we'll keep it, but the other things we'll get rid of. So we'll return this, and we'll return the header for the harvester. We'll leave them here for now. Actually, no, we'll get rid of this. There we go. Good. So that is all okay. We'll move this tractor. My silage, someone's stolen it. Yes, it wasn't in the XML file. That is why it's disappeared, but it's okay. We will pretend to sell it, and by the next episode we'll have quite a bit more money because we will have sold it. A contractor will have done it. So that's all good. Yeah, that's one thing you have to bear in mind if you're going to be using Tip Anywhere. I don't know exactly which file that information is stored on, so doing it the way I did in the tutorial video which I published, you won't be able to keep your Tip Anywhere stuff. So put it in storage properly and you should be okay. Right, so I'm going to put this down here. It's going to be used as a feed carrier. Have we done straw? Have I given them straw? They're going to need it if I haven't. Just take a look. It's been so long since I recorded one of these videos. For you it was yesterday, but I recorded that about 5 days ago. Straw, nothing. Water, nothing. Oh dear. Well, that's quite important really. We'd better get that sorted out. And the best tractor for the job, I would say, is the Massey Ferguson. Or, yeah, I suppose you could also use the pickup for the water. So back into the Massey Ferguson. And I can't believe this. I've actually forgotten what machinery we have. What do we have? Okay, not an awful lot in the way of animal equipment. So we could really do with having that silage money now. What I'm going to have to do is check and see how much it's worth, then see how much we had in storage, and then times it by that, and we'll get the money we need. So, what is silage worth? Let us take a look. Go across. That's wood chips. Where's silage? There it is. It can't be sold on the map. Good. In that case, I'll give it a price. It can be, well, what would it be? £400 yeah, £400 per 1,000 litres. Should we do that? 500? 500. We'll go with it. Okay, so it's loading again. I've just updated the money. We have sold the silage off screen, and we now have £71,637, which should be pretty good, I'm hoping. So, this means we can now buy some better equipment. We can't spend all this like there is no tomorrow. We need to be very careful. But still, as for the animals, we're going to need to get a water tanker, this one here. So we'll buy this. And a bale shredder, this one here. So we'll buy that as well. And then immediately we're back down at 37,000. So that's not too good. Where's the pickup? Oh, look at that too. Oh no, there'll be bales in this field. Oh dear. They're going to have to be also stacked off screen. That is the issue. Right, okay, so here is the Hilux again. The silage is gone. This can hopefully tow the water bowser. It will be empty, so we should be okay. But Follow Me should be installed now. I have transferred the mods across. This is my new PC. So, with a bit of luck, yes, good. Off we go. Also, I did notice the tractor volume is a bit too low. So let's see if we can update this a bit. Vehicle volume, there we go. That should be better, hopefully. Let me know how it sounds. So this can tow the bale shredder, the Hilux on the water tanker, and I'm assuming the store is in the same place. While we're up here, I'll show you the updated fields. It used to be just two massive fields, but it's now been replaced with field 13, 12, 20 and 19, which I think is much better. Plus we've got two woodlands or forests put in as well, so we'll be able to do a bit of forestry hopefully. So that is turning down there to the store, but we're going to continue just to here. So you can see this is much smaller. Did I ever show you it? I can't remember now. But this is much smaller than it ever used to be. And the price of this field is much more reasonable as well. It's easier to buy. Just short of £77,000. So we could have technically afforded it then. Almost. About, what would it be? 6,000 off. This is a small field as well. So I think having... Hang on, that price is pretty extravagant for that. Oh no, wait, it's very deceptive. Field 13, it starts off narrow and gets it very wide up there. But still, yeah, this is a huge improvement. I think, yeah, those two fields were too big. On the minimap they look big, and in person in the game, they were absolutely ridiculous. They were huge. But still, I look forward to doing some work up here, do some farming up here at some point. But not for today, I don't think. We won't have enough time or money. Right, so back onto the road again. The turning is here. The store is in the same place. So that keeps it simple. But some more icons being put on there to make it easier to see exactly where everything is. Plus, I think the field icons are here as well, which didn't used to be. The little blue exclamation signs, which didn't used to be there. Certainly not for every field, at least. They're all there now. But yes, the store is on the left-hand side, just around this corner. Here we go. So we'll attach to the bale shredder first of all, and then the Hilux can attach to the tanker. Oh, I can hear the pig squealing, and someone laughing at the pig. How cruel. Okay, let's get into the Hilux. Get it back on to follow me. Yes, the auctioneers, they're very noisy. Very noisy. Okay, there we go. Right. Yeah, the scaling actually looks okay. We just need to put this out here. And then we'll get the tractor. Put it back on to follow me. And then it'll just be a case of obviously putting a bale in the shredder and some water in the tanker. And we'll be able to complete the job for the pigs. And then they'll be really reproducing fast. Which we need them to do because that is a pretty good source of income, really. They're fairly low maintenance. The worst thing about them is how mucky they are. Like the trough. For some weird reason, you have to keep cleaning the trough like twice a day or something. There are ways around it. There are different mods which stop you from having to do that. But yeah, I don't think we'll do that. I think we'll keep it as realistic as possible. Even if they are incredibly mucky. But I suppose, yeah, pigs, they're not exactly, they don't have etiquette, do they? They're not going to exactly eat with a knife and fork. Or a spoon. It's just get your snout in the bowl and eat as much as you can do. Oh yes, these pigs. As long as they've got food in their mouths, or bellies for that matter, yes, they'll be happy. So here we go. I don't know the water fill point just yet, so we'll have to look into that in a second. But first of all, we'll load up the shredder. We may well have to get the Fendt tractor back to do this. Has the tractor got stuck somewhere, or has it just... Yeah, it could just be slow. Yes. There's me forgetting how slow a tractor could be. This one being very slow. Here it is. Although, scary, that is still pretty fast. Oh, and a loving tap at the end there as well. Just to finish the job off. So, I suppose what we could have done is we could have driven this down to the field, where we've got them all in the middle of a field. But I don't think we'll just do a video of driving about in the crop, it'll seem a bit weird. So instead, we'll load up this bale here. Ah, yes, we do still have a Manitou. And are they for the Manitou? They could be. If they are, then we will use the Manitou to load up the bale. Here it is. The side panel works very well now. I had some issues with FS13, but for 15 and 17, absolutely perfect. Yeah, this must be for this. Okay, so I can't crash into the tractor. I need to use the mirrors. And we will load this up. I think one will be okay, I'm hoping. We've got 15 pigs, but that's still not really an awful lot. So yeah, this should be okay. In you go, Bale. There we go. Fantastic. The other way of doing it is with a forage wagon, or if you just get a bucket on a front loader or telehandler, you can scoop it off the ground. You can scoop the straw up from a pile, which is obviously the cheap way of doing it. But it's also the slow way of doing it as well. So there we go. We have the professional setup, thanks to the silage. We're just going to shred it into their pen. Hopefully I can find the area where you do it. That is the issue. I do tend to forget. So hopefully I know where. Maybe you just go into their pen. Look at them. 4 of them in their little trough. That is quite a lot of rumps. Ah, it could be in here actually. Hopefully it is, because then we don't have to go all the way through. Let's try it. The unload symbol should appear if we're in the right place. Okay, it's not appearing. I'm not seeing it, but there is still a chance of having it here. Somewhere. Come on, piggies, do you want your straw? In that case, maybe... Whoop, sorry. Maybe it's out the front. That I would have thought is the loading point for buying and selling. So I doubt it's here. Yeah, I'm going to say it's out the front. I probably didn't even need to go into the pen. They must think I'm very strange. Why is that tractor just randomly driving around in circles? Look, they're having a meeting. Yes, I think he's weird too. Let's get out of the way. Oh no, instead let's just make a roadblock. Oh no, they are genuinely scared. Yes, in that case I do think they're out here. It must be probably up the lane here. Oh really? Well, this is interesting. I'll try again here and see if it actually takes it. I'll stop it just in case. Right. No, that hasn't worked. So yeah, where is it? I'm going to keep hunting and hopefully eventually I do find it. In the end, I never did find it, so what I'm going to have to do is after this video I'll check Giant's editor and just make sure it has actually been put into the map, and if it has I'll be able to find it there. But yeah, I think we're just going to have to put that job on hold. But it's okay, because we still have to give them water, which is actually more important than the straw. This is just for comfort, and obviously it produces manure for us. But water is fairly vital. Next thing will be, I can't find the water. This could be an incredibly successful episode. We'll have to see. Great way to kick off the new year. Maybe it is a sign of things to come. Right, where is the... where have I put the pickup? I've gone and lost it. I can see the front of it there. Well, yes. I'm guessing we're going to have to find like a... I think, is that, they call it a fountain, but I think it's probably a well. The fountain can't really contain that much water. We will find the well instead. I'm guessing it's this way. I have returned, empty-handed. I can't find the water fill point either, so both of these things are going to have to be looked up. I will be looking it up very soon. But yeah, just for today, we're going to have to put this job on hold. Instead, we're going to have to go over to the Bale field, get the Fendt tractor, and obviously shift those bales out of the way. And if we do see a water fill point along the way, obviously we're going to use it, but yeah, I haven't seen any at all. If there was a river, we could use the river, but there isn't one. So yeah, it's just going to be a case of looking for it, I think. I'm sure there will be one. It's just I've missed it. So yeah, we need to unload this trailer here, and obviously the rest of the field needs to be cleared up. Here we are in the Fendt. Yes, I've had an idea. The best thing to do is to create a mini stack in the yard, because then at least it frees up the trailer. The trailer is going to be used for other stuff as well as just bales. We'll probably put some pallets on there for seed and fertiliser. So yeah, it's quite important that we actually unload it fairly quickly. But where shall we create the stack? That is the only thing which concerns me. Yes, somewhere, obviously. Probably down the bottom. Yes, I think if we go... Actually, does this sell? I could sell a bale. It's a test. No. So that is a good place to store them. Try this side. Chances are this won't sell it either. Ah, good. So we now have a good area to store our straw. I'll just quickly dump this one here so we can get stacks of 3. And yeah, I had a few suggestions in the Chellington video saying it's better to stack them like a builder's bricks, like a house, to get more strength. I can only assume that that is the way you do it, because yeah, I'm not talking from experience here, never done it in my life before, so it doesn't really matter for Farming Simulator, because obviously it doesn't really matter if they fall down, chances are they won't do. But yeah, certainly in real life, that would be very important. That's not going to fit. So we'll move this out of the way. And we'll get the New Holland tractor here. I keep wanting to call it a Ford, because the Ford looks very similar. We'll pull the trailer around just to get it lined up with us, and then it'll make it much easier to unload. Take the straps off, obviously, but getting it out of here could be quite challenging. I can remember it was a bit of a job getting it in. Plus, it doesn't exactly look very stable. Right. So we'll just pull forwards here. And we will remove the straps. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 straps holding the... Oh, hang on, no. Maybe I missed it. I think it was 8. 8 straps holding on these bales. They weren't going to fall off, but you wouldn't exactly look at it and say, oh yeah, that's stable. I think one thing's for sure, you wouldn't want to follow it down a road. Yes. There is a chance of having a bale landing on your car. Okay. Oops. Good start. Needs to be perfectly square, otherwise we're not going to be able to stack them properly. As for the stacking like a builder's brick kind of a trick, I don't know if we'll be able to. Oh joy. Oh joy. Oh good. Yeah, top tip. I shouldn't really be giving top tips out when I can't do it myself, but yeah, keep some of the straps on. It does make it easier. I know what the issue is. It's stuck in there like a wedge. It was a big issue getting them on. Anyway, let us begin the stack. This could be incredibly impressive. I think actually, to give myself a bit more space, I'll put it in the end bay. And I should probably put it flush with the wall actually. As for the looks of this thing, it really doesn't matter. They're only going to be shredded. Yes, I did hope I would do it a bit better than that. It seems I'm better at loading up the bales than I am at removing them, which doesn't really say a lot. Okay, put this one here instead. And yeah, they're not really that neat now, so it makes it quite hard. I just don't want to knock another one off around the back. That would be awful. Right, okay. Keep it low. And hopefully, look at that actually, it's quite a good fit. kind of. Well, it will do. I know it's awful. It's good enough. I would quite like to get the other side off before I knock it off. Oh, they're all going. Well, nobody said that it was professional. They just said it was supposed to be realistic. Which it kind of is if you're a terrible worker. That'll do. I'm quite happy with this. At least in here, it's much harder to knock them over. I shouldn't be able to. I might be able to find a way. There is a possibility. But still, I shouldn't be able to. Okay, we'll do a couple more on screen. And then I think it's probably best to keep the clear up for off screen. Yes, yes, I'm not going to stand too close to that. It could come flying off at any second. Yeah, these are pretty heavy. The tractor is struggling, even with a 1.1 ton weight on the back, which I think is way more than it should have. Okay, and finally, I think it is just the mess which is left. Yeah, pretty much. Yep, that sums up my bale unloading skills. But yeah, I do have some excuses which I won't go into. Mainly, the slope which I parked it on is very, you know, it's tipping the other way. But yeah, that was my fault too. So yeah, oh dear, it just didn't really go to plan. Put it simply. So I'm going to continue off screen just tidying up, and I will see you again in a second when it should be, when it should be quite a bit neater. What am I doing? Put it on the floor. And finally, the last bale. Let's get this thing back into the pile. Oh dear, this job could have gone much better. In fact, this entire video could have gone much better. It didn't really start off well, did it? Really. I haven't been able to find water. I haven't found the straw shredding point, and I have totally failed with the bales. So hilarity is once again the main topic of this video, just because it is so terrible. But still, I mean, that isn't, well, it's not good, but they're in there. That's alright. Yes, very neat. And these are the ones which burst. So, joy. Yes, at least they're in the shed. But that has got the trailer freed up for doing other jobs. And yeah, really, we have to still get the next load of bales, but I think we might invest in an auto stack. We'll have to see. But before we can spend money on other stuff, we need to spend some money on some different animals, because we really need to kickstart this map with the animals. So we'll turn that off there. We'll get back into the pickup, and we're going to buy some cows. The cows are now cheaper than they used to be. In fact, they're all much cheaper than they used to be because I've got the mod installed. Definitely worth getting that mod because I think the starting off prices of the animals is just a bit too high. If you want a challenge, then it's great. But if you don't, really, and yeah, you just want to get on with it, I think that mod is pretty decent. It is the Realistic Animal Prices mod. We need to find a good place for the water tank. Where shall we put it? Yeah, that's a good place. And hopefully, in the next episode, we will actually be using it. I'm hoping. I just don't know if we're going to be. I need to find, in Giant's Editor, I need to find the water fill point, and I need to find the trigger for the Bale shredder. If I find both of those two, will be great for the next episode. If I don't, then yes, I'll have to add them in manually. But first, let's do a bit of buying. This is essentially all the money from the silage harvest. But I think it's well spent, really. It's not like we're going and buying a massive tractor which we don't even need. We're actually buying, I suppose you could, well, it's things which are going to profit in the future. So yeah, the cows would be a perfect thing for this. Oh sorry, I just flew through that village at, what, 55 miles per hour? Better not make a habit of that. Here we go again. Keep it steady. It's an addictive vehicle to drive though. It handles so well. You just want to floor it. That's the feeling I get anyway. Right, so the store is just here. We can floor it to the store. Any water? There could be. It could be here. So we've got, just here we've got the sell point for wool, the sell point for wood, and the wood chip sell point. But no water, interestingly. So, I don't know. Anyway, as for the cows, they're still quite expensive, so we'll buy a few. Yes. I think we'll go with 10. Yeah, it's expensive. We only have £10,000 left, but I think, yeah, we couldn't really have less, really. Because otherwise it would be hardly worth owning the cows. And obviously the more we have, the faster they'll reproduce, which means long term, the more money we'll get. So yeah, we have to spend money to make money. Or spend a lot of money to make a bit of money, in this case. But still, it's going to be a nice addition for the farm. And in the next episode we will be working on the cows, and hopefully we'll be finishing off the pigs as well. But yeah, as I explained, I need to find what is wrong with them. There's something wrong with my pigs. They won't take straw and they won't drink water. And here we are back at the farm, our finishing point for today. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video despite the fails. I mean, failing comes natural to me. It just does. It's all part of the fun. But at least the bales are off the trailer. It could have been worse. They could have been on fire. There we go. Right, we're home for another day. Have a fantastic new year. Thank you very much for watching. And yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.